Dropped the bomb, I couldn't find a Tom Hanks. Got me pressed trying to find Devon Frank. So Devon Franklin is an author and public speaker and just cool dude. I never met him before. Devon Franklin married Megan Good, and they eventually wrote a book together. This book was called The Weight. And I remember the day that The Weight found itself into my home. The Weight is a book that's written about how celibacy and taking sex out of your relationship, or premarital sex out of your relationship, can overall strengthen it and create an eternal thing. Celibacy saved my life and gave me a marriage.
After a 2-month engagement, Bieber reveals that one of the reasons why they chose to get married so quickly is because they waited until marriage to have sex. Telling the magazine, quote, "God doesn't ask us not to have sex for him because he wants rules and stuff. He's just like, I'm trying to protect you from hurt and pain," going on to say, "I wanted to rededicate myself to God in that way because I really felt it was better for the condition of my soul. And I believe that God blessed me with Haley as a result. There are perks. You get rewarded for good behavior."
Well, I figured we'd take a couple of laps around the bedroom, burn a couple of calories, you know.
What would give you that idea?
Well, since you're reading this book about sex, I figured there's nothing to it but to do it, put it into practice.
Oh, did you now, huh?
Mm-hmm. What's this you're reading? Typhoon sex. What's that mean? We gonna do it in the shower?
Well, since you're asking, maybe we are going to do it in the
All
shower.
right, I'll go run in the water.
As a matter of fact, maybe we're going to do it everywhere.
I better stretch for this. Yeah. Get there, working.
As a matter of fact, I think we are going to have the most incredible sexual experience we have ever had in our entire lives.
I'll go get that oil.
In 6 months.
In 6 months? We gonna have sex for 6 months? Yeah, my girl's a freak. 6 months, 6 months, we gonna do it. For 6 months, we gonna do it. For 6 months, gotta take a leave of absence. For 6 months, for 6 months.
Michael,
what?
Not for 6 months. In 6 months.
What happens in 6 months?
We have sex.
And what do we do in the meantime?
Oh, there's a lot that's going to happen in the meantime. Now, Michael, when I say we're not going to have sex for 6 months, we're not going to have the kind of sex that we've been having. We're going to have new and different kind of sex.
So I finally wore you down, huh?
No, I'm still not doing that, okay?
It don't hurt.
No. I said no. No, Michael, I'm talking about having sex on a mental level. It's almost like enjoying every bite of a meal totally and completely without digesting it.
That don't make no sense.
No, you learn to be satisfied in different ways. And after those 6 months, when you finally have that physical sex, it's like a typhoon. Oh, I felt that. You felt that?
I don't need a typhoon. I'll be happy with a drizzle, an occasional sun shower, a little mist, like that. I'm really cool, little mist.
Michael.
You wait till marriage to have sex and find out your spouse has such a low sex drive, they only want it once a month. What do? A, ask them to have sex, even if they hate it. B, do without sex until they're ready. C, supplement in other ways, as in self-pleasure. Or D, consider divorce. Now, I'm gonna just give y'all my thoughts on this real quick, and I know a lot of y'all gonna have a huge problem with this, but I am for celibacy if you're doing it because of religious reasons. If that's the case, stick to your guns no matter what. Don't let nobody sway you one way or the other. I'm for it if you're doing it because you're in a season of healing. Like right now, you don't need to engage with anybody on any level. You just need to focus on you. That happens. I 100% understand. And I'm for it. Actually, I highly recommend it if you're being celibate until at least there's a commitment expressed, a verbal commitment. You guys are in a relationship. He or she, whoever's listening to this, is not dealing with nobody else because you don't want to open yourself up to somebody who's out here being promiscuous and putting you at risk. You don't want to engage in any activity that's going to cultivate feelings long term for somebody who only has short term intentions. So I'm 100% behind that. But I don't personally advocate for celibacy when it comes to waiting until marriage. Because I feel like in marriage, you're signing over the responsibility to satisfy you in all the major buckets that matter. Sexual compatibility is one of them for the rest of your life. And before you do that, you need to establish that a person is fully qualified and equipped to do so. Now, I know some people would say, well, if that's the case, then you need to do that before you even get in a relationship. No, a relationship is whenever you find out if they're financially responsible, if they are a mature adult and ready to be a leader in your household, or a co-leader or provider or a parent. You find out whether or not you guys can have fun together, and you find out whether or not you guys, if not compatible right now, can get on the same page at some point. So if that person doesn't have a certain level of energy, endurance, or whatever, can they learn? And it's some things that you just simply can't learn. If you need a certain size of equipment, look, straight up, a man can't learn a big. So if you need that to be fulfilled, you need to know that before you even get into a marriage with them. In the relationship phase is a great time to learn that. But if you wait until you're married and you get into a situation where your spouse has a much lower sex drive than you, for my people out there with a high sex drive that need it 2-3 times a day, or people with an average sex drive and need it just 2 or 3 times a week, then you know waiting until they're ready ain't an option. There is no being sexually frustrated on a daily basis and still being productive or focused or in a good mood or able to output enough for your partner to be happy with you in any area of the relationship, because at some point it's going to eat at you that you're not getting what you need. You're not getting your needs satisfied. And then asking them to have sex even though they hate it, you're not going to want to do something like that, something where you crave a person but they don't crave you in return, even if they are willing. And then, yeah, you may self-pleasure yourself for a while, but that's a short-term fix, not a long-term solution. So at some point, it's inevitable that you're going to consider divorce, if not cheat, which I purposely didn't make an answer choice because I don't think that's justified under any circumstances. But at some point, you not having your needs fulfilled or satisfied in any major area of the relationship is going to put so much strain on the relationship that you're going to be perpetually unhappy. And somebody's going to say, you know what, we need to figure something out. We need to make a move. So for that reason, celibacy is a huge gamble. Yes, you can win. There are people who have won and it's worked out just fine. But there are a whole lot of people who have ended up in this situation where a woman or a man is not getting the orgasms that they need. Matter of fact, I think that's the reason why a lot of men's biggest complaint about a woman is the fact that she nags all the time. Look, I gotta be honest. I ain't never seen a woman nag her man day in and day out that was getting regular orgasms.
I stand here with confidence through God that I will be the best husband for you for our entire lives together. This world has thrown so much at us to test our relationship and our love for one another. We both experienced times where we thought we would lose each other forever or never see each other again. We've remained faithful and loyal to each other. We fought for each other when we knew the other was deserving as much more. We've helped each other grow better as people. We've held each other accountable as God-fearing, and we loved each other unconditionally in ways I never knew existed. You are God's personal gift for me, and one of my most treasured blessings, and I never want to take you for granted.
Matt, our relationship is so special to me. I love how we pray and worship God together. I love how you love my parents, and I love how much you respect me. It truly isn't every day that you find a man who is willing to wait until marriage to fully become one with, and I'm so grateful to you for that. Out of all the arguments we've ever had, you have never once started one with me, which still blows my mind to this day. There are so many things I love about you, but my favorite thing I love about you is your gap teeth. And you love me so much that you're never going to fix them, even though it's been a dream of yours to do that since you were young. In this moment, I believe that God is mending our spirits to become one. Knowing this, I vow to understand that the decisions I make for myself fully affect you. I vow to never leave you. I vow to honor and respect you. I vow to be loyal to you. I vow to be honest with you. And I vow to be on your side and never be against you. Last but not least, because I know you love your peace and quiet, I vow to do my best to never be loud or clank pots and pans together when you're sleeping, because apparently I've been told I've done that before. I love you so much, Matt. My life will never be the same, and I'm truly so excited to go through life being your wife. After God, you will become the first, most important person to me, and I vow to you today to make sure you know that I mean that. I love you.